Hi, I'm Randy Nesse from the Arizona State University Center for Evolutionary Medicine. Our guest today is Pete Trimmer. Pete, you want to tell us a little about where you're from and how you got into your current interests?
Yeah, well, I'm from Britain, but I'm currently working at UC Davis. My background is very mixed because I started with a maths degree and then I analysed aircraft systems for many years before then.
You were in industry doing really practical things.
Well, yeah, and what a change, eh? But no, it's one of those things where, although it sounds like a huge change to go from looking at aircraft and how they're designed to looking at the evolution of things related to medicine and how bodies work, actually they're conceptually virtually the same to my mind, because effectively we're dealing with a black box of inputs and outputs and trying to understand the system of all these little black boxes all connected up with their different inputs and outputs.
And engineers try to make them work as well as possible, and natural selection tries to make them work very well and ends up often with things that do work very well, except they're different from designed things.
Yes, of course, evolution has this kind of difficulty at times whereby they can get trapped in sometimes some suboptimal things. So it's very difficult for us to evolve wheels, for instance. We walk along.
Even when the whole world is paved for a million years, we still won't have wheels.
Yes, even when it's been paved for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah. I still don't think we'll have wheels, even though our ball joints and our hips are a little bit like wheels, and it's almost like our legs are a continuous part of the like the spokes at the bottom of a wheel, just moving us along. It's a little bit like that, but it's very easy for evolution to get sometimes trapped into these situations where our ancestors needed something, and so now we need to develop on what was already there rather than starting from scratch. Whereas in the aircraft industry...
So is this path dependence that you're talking about?
Yes, path dependence. So things are never designed from scratch. But
an aircraft designer can start fresh.
They absolutely can start fresh. But one of the extraordinary things about evolution is how often it seems that things have actually worked out really, really well to be very close to the optimal. People often look at how we behave or how we're ill or something, and they say, oh look, there's a problem with evolution. But actually, if you were to fix that particular problem, often you would cause some other problem elsewhere in the system. And people are often blind
like
to
trade-offs. You make one thing better, you make something else worse.
Absolutely, yeah. As you know, a lot of this work is about trade-offs. So the benefits in some situations compared with the costs in others.
So if I had one idea I'd like every doctor and health professional to understand, it's that everything in the body is a trade-off. There's a tendency to think of things as perfect or screwed up.
Yep.
But you move it this way, you make it worse. I mean, more acid in the stomach, more ulcers. Less acid in the stomach, more infections. What are some other trade-offs that especially are interesting to you?
Well, I'm interested in various aspects that relate to our cognition, so our mental states or our mood states, how much things can be distinguished in terms of our kind of rationality compared with our kind of underlying emotions. And some people, it's often claimed that emotions or moods are irrational. And I don't fundamentally believe that. I believe that they're setting our longer-term goals or our longer-term expectations that then acts as a base for our kind of rational minds, our conscious thoughts to work from.
So let's go on in just a minute and talk about why mood exists at all.